Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. Edgar Allan Poe. Here are 25 dreams that forever changed society. 25. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity changed the world of physics, and it came from a dream. Einstein dreamt he was sledding down a mountain, ever-increasing speed until he nearly reached the speed of light. He noticed the stars looked different, and this observation led him to the mathematics by which he figured out the famous formula. 24. Yes, even the idea for the biggest search engine came from dreams. Founder Larry Page dreamt of Google, seeing that he and Sergey Brin could make a business by, quote, downloading the entire web onto computers. 23. Love it or hate it, Twilight changed the way pop culture saw vampires. Stephenie Meyer, author of the best-selling Twilight series, had the idea for vampires come to her in a dream, specifically for the human-vampire love relationships, and where vampire skin sparkled when in the sun, but didn't burn. 22. What would the literary world be without Frankenstein? Author Mary Shelley dreamt up the idea after Lord Byron, a fellow poet she was visiting, challenged his guests to write a ghost story. She dreamt of the moment when Dr. Frankenstein brought the monster to life, and, the following morning, began writing the chilling tale. 21. Besides having the most covers of any song in history, the Beatles' song Yesterday came to Paul McCartney while he was dreaming. He woke up with the music in his head and wrote it out on the piano next to him. 20. President Abe Lincoln dreamt of his own assassination just a few days before. How freaky is that? He dreamt he could hear sad wailing in the White House, and in getting up and trying to find it, finally came upon a room with mourners and his own corpse. Okay, so you could argue that his dream was not the cause of one of the most momentous events in history, but it's still a pretty freaky coincidence, don't you think? 19. The sewing machine was invented in 1845. Elias Howe had a dream he was taken prisoner by men with spears ready to do him in. Looking at the spears as they were nearly upon him, he noticed a hole at the spear's points. By the next day, this breakthrough led him to develop the missing link in his sewing machine. 18. Famous golfer Jack Nicklaus lost his groove in 1964, shooting games easily in the 70s. After seeing a problem with how he held his club in a dream, he corrected it the next day and his game improved significantly. 17. Well known among mathematicians, Srinivas Ramanujan is said to have published over 3,000 theorems. He claimed Hindu goddess Namagiri would appear in his dreams and tell him new formulas. 16. One of the greatest scientific discoveries of all time was the discovery of DNA's structure. Dr. James Watson had a dream involving two intertwined snakes with heads at opposite ends, leading to his consideration of a double helix. 15. With a fever spiking to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, or 39 degrees Celsius, James Cameron had the idea of the Terminator in a dream. More like a nightmare. Cameron saw the metallic figure with piercing red eyes pulling itself up from a fire. Not the kind of dream I'd want to have anytime soon. 14. Global best-selling novelist Stephen King had many ideas come to him through dreams, including the books Misery and It. As King said, "I've always used dreams the way you'd use mirrors, to look at something you couldn't see head-on." 13. In the early 20th century, scientists thought our nerves transmitted information electrically. After a dream, Dr. Otto Loewi awoke during the night and scribbled some thoughts on a paper. Upon waking up in the morning, he realized he had written about information being transmitted chemically, later proven to be true, and winning him the 1936 Nobel Prize. 12. You might not know much about it, but benzene is a pretty important foundation in chemistry, partly responsible for cars, leather, and high schoolers' dismay. Chemist Friedrich August Kekulé von Stradonitz's dream of a snake biting its own tail in a hexagonal shape led to his discovery of the six-sided benzene. 11. Dmitri Mendeleev first came up with the idea for the periodic table in a dream. Unable to figure out how to arrange the elements, he used music heard in his dream to figure out the best way was by their properties and atomic weight. 10. Director Christopher Nolan is fascinated with dreams. He would frequently practice waking up and falling partially asleep again to try manipulating his dreams in the semi-conscious state. It's easy to see how this love turned into the thriller Inception. 9. D.B. Parkinson, an employee at Bell Labs, was designing an add-on to the telephone in 1940. One night he dreamt he was in the middle of the war in Europe, and after being shown by an artillery crewman, saw the device he was creating helped the cannon take out Nazi aircraft with surprising accuracy, and thus the artillery gun leveler was born. 8. Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones attributed his popular song Satisfaction to a dream. He's said to have recorded the acoustic riffs just before falling back to sleep. The riffs were followed by 40 minutes of him snoring. 7. Beethoven was rumored to be a prolific dreamer, hearing many of his piano sonatas in his dreams and writing them out afterwards. Some historians even say his dreams featured instruments not yet invented. I would love to hear his Fifth Symphony on those. 6. Robert Louis Stevenson regularly used dreams as the basis for his stories. He saw the scene where Mr. Hyde changes in front of his pursuers and, combined with dreams from other nights, wrote the novel Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde within 10 weeks. 5. Salvador Dali's famous clockwork, The Persistence of Memory, may not have been directly seen in a dream, but Dali often referred to his paintings as, quote, hand-painted dream photographs. 4. Composer Georg Friedrich Handel came to an impasse when trying to finish his now famous piece, Messiah. He claimed the ending for it came to him in a dream. 3. Caligula, famous Roman emperor, dreamt of his death the night before it happened. In it, he met the god Jupiter, who proceeded to kick him from the heavens back down to Earth. The next day, conspirators assassinated the emperor. 2. The world's first female American self-made millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker, made her fortune in the early 20th century cosmetics industry. A black man appeared to her in a dream and told her the mixture which would help her falling out hair grow back in. It worked, and she enjoyed a lengthy career selling her cosmetic products. 1. While fighting in the trenches of World War I, it's said Adolf Hitler had a life-saving dream. In it, he and his unit were eaten up by the earth and liquid metal. He awoke bewildered and left for a walk, during which time a shell landed on the trench, killing the other soldiers. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 2 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.